Welcome to the Infinite Life podcast. Welcome back to the Infinite Life podcast. This week we have yet another session with Megan Jones, the medium, and I wanted to tell you about the background to this particular session and who comes through in this session. So it was part of the 9 sessions that I booked with Megan to find out some of the stories of the earthbound spirits that I had crossed over. This particular set of spirits that came through was linked to a day that I literally just went to the local Greenslopes shopping mall to do my groceries. And I remember getting into my car and just sitting there for a minute. And I remember thinking, oh, why does this shopping mall always have like a really creepy feeling in this basement? It's just always had a really creepy kind of a feeling. And before I knew it, it was as if that acknowledgement of that feeling brought the attention of those that were lingering in this space. And I was just on the receiving end of a massive amount of energy that just came rushing at me, just like whoosh, bam, 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 attachment, attachment, attachment. And I was like, holy smokes. I wasn't ready for that. I hadn't even thought about protecting myself energetically because I was just doing my grocery shopping at Coles. And I was quite taken aback. I was like, okay, I didn't give you permission for that. And who have I got? And I got a whole bunch of animals and people that attached me to that day. And it kind of validated the fact that I had, in the past 3 years, felt like there was a lot of energy swirling around in that car park. You know, there were always stray kittens, homeless people sometimes, and it's just sometimes had a bad feeling for me. And sometimes that bad feeling can just be associated with the fact that you're not tuning into something or somebody who's trying to communicate with you, and they can feel angry or frustrated because they know that you should be able to listen to them and that you're not. Because if we have the expectations that we can only communicate with ghosts or earthbound spirits when we're in a cemetery, and we're going to be closed to that experience anywhere else in the world and only in a cemetery location, then you're completely missing the opportunity to help pull crossover spirits wherever they may have died. So anyway, it's quite the learning experience for me. So Megan brings through some of who I call the Greenslopes spirits. I hope you find this interesting and insightful. Namaste.
The first thing that I really felt, the first thing that he showed me that came in strongly was I felt like he was lonely, and I felt like he lived by himself in an apartment.
Okay. Oh, yes.
He feels older. Like he feels like he's like middle aged to older. The way
Mm-hmm.
he's coming in. I'm also feeling like Like, he's just showing me the scene that he keeps taking me to. He's like sitting in what looks to be like a den, like a living room or a lounge room, and he's just by himself watching TV, is how it feels. I don't see a TV, but it just feels like he's sitting like in this chair alone, is what it feels like.
Can you ask him where he came across me? Because I think I know who it is.
I feel like the connection is with the apartment.
Okay.
Or somewhere close to where the apartment was. But he's also showing me, it looks like someone, and I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that this is you. I feel like someone's like researching, like on the computer, looking for him as well, or like wanting to know about him.
Okay.
He's making me feel like however you found him, it was like it was by surprise though. It was like you found him by surprise. You weren't necessarily expecting it. But then I feel like you did more research or something like that.
And how did he actually pass?
So he's making me feel two different things. And so I'm not really sure which one it is. But originally I felt pressure in my heart and thought heart attack. Then when you asked the question, saw like a fast moving car.
Okay.
So I don't know if those tie together or if one is more symbolic to something.
Could you check if there's not two people here? Because I've got two distinct stories that are coming to mind, maybe even three. I just want to separate the energies, check if there's just one or if there's a couple of men, because there's a couple of men that have got distinct stories that
So the energies are blended. I can't tell them apart, but when I asked, they showed me this, and that's my sign for there could be multiple to coming in together. But they're not separating. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to call out which one we want to answer, and that might actually produce an answer from that one only.
Yeah, so there's three that are coming to mind, and you may feel resonant. So there's one fella who I came across when I said to you I went to the shopping mall, and and that particular fellow he was in his own apartment, lonely, suicidal, depressed, and that was the one fella. His name is Adam. Like literally at the time of crossing, he basically told me each day is a struggle. He felt sad, broke. He lived near me and he died at home. But when you mentioned the car, there's another one who died in a car accident on the freeway near me. And then the third one that I'm thinking was an elderly gentleman who got hit by a train late at night. So that's when you said the car, I was like, oh, could be the one that got hit by a train, or it could be the one on the freeway. But when you said to me alone in an apartment, I very clearly felt like it was this fellow Adam who was at the car park. So
I am feeling like Adam is the stronger, like he's the one that is doing most of the communicating.
Yeah, that was the first vision that I said. When you said that, I was like, oh, I know who it is. So that was my first response.
Do you know if he died from some kind of heart failure or heart attack?
The thing I got at the time was that he died at home, and I felt like he had ended his own life.
It does feel like it was at home to me as well. And it could just be that he's not wanting to bring through the guilt and the remorse feelings of what comes through with that. And then the heart feeling could just be the heaviness, like struggle and the heavy heart.
I guess the main thing we just want to know for him is thank you for coming through, and what would he like to teach us, tell us? What does he want to communicate? Otherwise he wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I do feel like he was in a relationship at some point, but when I ask about that relationship, I'm just feeling like she left. And it feels like to me like he's really wanting to portray like he just didn't have a will to do anything, to go anywhere, to meet people, to be happy. It just feels like his life was at home sitting in what looks to be like this chair.
I guess what we're interested in is knowing, what has he learnt since? What was his purpose? Anything about his journey?
He's making me feel like his lessons in life were of loneliness. I'm feeling like he needed that, like he needed to feel lonely is what it feels like. His soul needed to know what that experience felt like. I asked him just point blank, did you kill yourself? And the words that came to my mind were, I might as well have. So it's possible that he did, but it's also possible I'm feeling like was like lack of care. like he wasn't taking care of himself. He wasn't putting effort because of the loneliness, and because he just let it swallow him, is how it feels to me. And again, it could just
He didn't do this.
doesn't feel like it.
No, okay. All right. I just had a friend who drank himself to death around the similar sort of age group, and I was wondering, oh, is he in that group as well? Okay.
And it could just be he's not bringing that through, but substance abuse is normally one that I can pick up on pretty easily.
Yeah, easily, yeah. Yeah, that's all right. I just wanted to clear that out, that it wasn't. And does he have any
it feels more like food.
food? Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
It feels like
to death.
It
Caused
feels
a
like
heart attack.
Yeah, it feels like food was a coping mechanism for him to just kind of.
Yeah, so you can eat yourself to death, which is not classified as suicide, but you've killed yourself by eating yourself to death.
Exactly. And so that's how it feels to me, is that he wasn't taking care of himself. He wasn't doing things for his own betterment, for his own health. And I feel like a lot of that was definitely around his diet and his physical health, as far as exercise and sunshine, and he just became really reclusive. It feels like the pattern actually started in his childhood. It feels like he's bringing up his mother, and it feels like he was almost manipulated through food. Here's a cookie, go play. Like, here's food, and he just found his way. He's found like his own happiness.
Rewarded through. He was taught to satiate his emotions and to be rewarded through food. I have been guilty of doing this myself. When you say, "Here you go, darling, you'll feel better. Just have some chocolate." Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know I'm guilty of that for sure. Yeah. Yeah, he just said unconscious pattern. And then just the loneliness, it just made it worse, and until the point to where it killed him. He feels super sweet. He feels super, just really caring. Like, he feels like a really caring person. That definitely, like, the loneliness and all that, it didn't make him bitter towards the world, is how I'm feeling. It was more of how he felt about himself, for sure. Not towards other people. But it did prevent him from being around other people, because he just felt so unworthy and so disconnected himself. But I feel like he never blamed the world, or he never got angry and bitter towards anyone else. It was all towards himself.
Yeah, I felt it was all in his head. Yeah, that's the sensation I got at the time.
Yeah, very in his head, very reclusive, very just inner turmoil is how it feels. I don't know what this means, but he just showed me it looks like a white looking flag waving.
Okay.
I don't know if that's just like surrender, or like I'm not
Peace,
sure what that
yeah.
I'm not sure what that symbol is supposed to mean.
Maybe he's at peace with it now.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that he definitely feels at peace. He's saying that I asked him why he didn't cross over at the time of his death, considering how lonely and isolated he felt. And he's making me feel it was like when he died, he realized that he didn't live. Like he felt so much regret because he didn't live his life like he should have. And I'm feeling like he had a lot of religious doubt and he didn't really know what to believe in. And so he didn't think he was going to get another shot to live and to experience life. So he was like clinging on to that. I didn't get to do it. It feels like running out of time is what it feels like. Like he didn't have enough time and he wanted to go back and experience and not let his inner demons control everything. And so that's what he clung to. Give me feel like when he crossed over, he was able to, it was like, how to describe it, he was able to feel this hope that he was wrong, that even though he was still scared and he wasn't sure what to expect, it was like he was no longer, it was like he was no longer convinced that there wasn't life after death anymore. He wasn't sure what that would necessarily look like. He wasn't, I feel like you've probably talked to him and he didn't really believe you, is what it feels like to me. It feels like there was still a lot of doubt and a lot of hesitation, but there was just enough hope for him to see that he wasn't completely right. He just wasn't sure what it would be. And then also he just said, and whatever is on the other side's got to be better than here and where he currently was.
Yeah. Understand that.
Yeah.
And as a group, is there some kind of message that they collectively wish to let us know, that because they've all come in as a group? Is there a collective feeling or a collective spiritual lesson or something that they all have come to teach us? Otherwise, they wouldn't.
The common emotion that they all carried was the loneliness, but the common thread message is not having enough time is what felt, that's what kept them here, is that they felt like they ran out of time. And so they wanted to go back and have more time and to be able to do the things that they didn't get to do. That those are definitely the common threads between the three of them.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Because that is a common feeling that we have as human beings, that we don't have enough time. Yet when we understand reincarnation, we realize that we have all the time in the world because we come back again. There's never any not enough time. It's just that we believe that there's just this one skin. So therefore, there's only this one lifetime and this one time, and that creates this and this stress and this pressure and these expectations. And if we only could somehow embrace the construct that there are many times, then we don't need to set such expectations for ourselves of what it has to be. And therefore you wouldn't have this feeling of not having had enough time, needing to stay behind, because you would understand that you going to the next lifetime and you get the time again.
And yeah, like when he made me feel that way, I was like, I felt that way. Like I know I have felt that way before. And we get very caught up in time, even though I know now it's not really, doesn't really exist, but we get caught up in that. And I can see for sure how anyone who doesn't believe in reincarnation, or they're just not aware of it, would feel that way in death, especially if they felt like they wasted their life, which is how he felt. He felt like he wasted his life. Whereas I feel like more the freeway accident, I'm feeling like his was more abrupt. Like he felt like it was unexpected. It was really quick.
Yeah, and they're really important messages for people to hear, just in and of themselves. Yeah.
He has his word of wisdom is what he's calling it. His words of wisdom is, if you had all the time in the world, what would you do with it? And he says to do it now. Because the only time that matters is in the present.
Yeah, the now moment is the only moment there is. So yeah. Again, hard to embody and live as a human being, but it is the truth. It is the truth, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a common theme in humanity, for sure.
Yeah. All right. If you could thank them and let me know if they have anything else they wish to say. Otherwise, we'll move on to the higher being. I appreciate them all coming through.
I'm just feeling like the freeway accident guy, like he's just wanting to say, like, he was always, it feels like his energy was different, whereas he was always like rushing, is what it feels like.
Yeah, okay, which makes sense. His accident is on a freeway.
Yeah, it feels like he was always like impatient and always just do it, get it done, do it fast. And he just wants, again, just to say his story is different from mine, but we still had the very similar lessons that we needed to learn. Like he was lonely because he wasn't doing the things that were important to him. He wasn't spending time with the people that mattered. He wasn't doing the things that he really loved. He was just doing. And when life was taken from him, he realized how important those things were and how he should have focused on those and not production and working. I feel like he was a workaholic is what I'm feeling like. Yeah. And so that's really just, he wanted just to add that on at the end.
Yeah, so it's a similar feeling of not having enough time because he's always rushing everywhere. He's got a big to-do list to do. He's always got more work. And no matter, though, he probably squeezed 1 billion hours in one day in comparison to other people, he still didn't allocate a small proportion of that day to himself, which is taking that one on board myself.
All of us, for sure, can. I think a lot of people can relate to both of those angles, for sure.
Yeah, very interesting lessons on time. And ones that we hear all the time as well from people, and we're just like, yeah, I've heard that before, but we don't actually do anything to change anything.
Yeah. Yep. I think they're done. I just told them thank you, and nothing else felt to come through. So
thank you very much. They were great messages that we can remind people about.